title of this movie does sound like a horror movie, doesn't it? But it's a comedy about The Rock playing a hockey player. Okay, maybe it is a horror movie. He plays a hockey player whose only goal in hockey is just to crush other players so they'll lose a tooth. No, he had dignity. I mean, what hockey player's main objective is just doing that? Isn't that like a basketball player going into baseball? You know, I really got to shut the fuck up. He not only plays hockey, he crushes people's dreams. He even steals his girlfriend's daughter's tooth fairy money just for the joys of gambling. He even tells his girlfriend's daughter that there's no tooth fairy. I'm sorry, but there's no tooth fairy? Yeah, next you'll be telling me there's no Santa Claus. I dare you to tell me that there's no Santa Claus, because I will spam you. And he doesn't really get along with his girlfriend's son. He plays guitar, but shuts The Rock away from his life. I guess he saw the Scorpion King. Eventually, they bond with music. So The Rock is transported into a fairy world. No, this one is less funny. The lead fairy is Mary Poppins, and she tells The Rock that he's going to be a fairy for a while because he is a dream-crushing asshole. And the guy who helps The Rock is the guy from Extras. Why are two talented Brits in this American shit? So, comically, he spontaneously turns into a fairy every time the fairy world wants him to get a child's tooth. He even has to follow the rules, like, he can't tell anyone that he's a fairy because his fairy sentence will be extended indefinitely. Or don't misuse the gadgets that make you invisible. Or misuse the other gadgets that make you shoot sprinkles and makes you forget the past few seconds. I wish I had that to forget this whole fucking movie. And the guy who helps The Rock doesn't have his fairy wings. Let me get this straight. A hockey player slash dream killer slash fairy disbeliever is a fairy for a couple of weeks, but there's a guy who's been working at Fairy World for a long time and he doesn't have his wings? Do you see what the fuck is wrong with those two sentences there? And they aren't even pretty wings either! They look like they've been sat on constantly and little moths have eaten little holes in it! They are ugly wings! But really, not getting wings after some odd 100,000s of years? Isn't it like being the best computer nerd at Best Buy and never getting promoted? So, what the fuck do you think is gonna happen in this film? He finally gets along with both his girlfriend's kids, then falls out with them because of an incident that makes him pissed. Oh no! I wonder if he's gonna redeem himself in any fucking way! So, during a hockey game, he turns into a fairy in the middle of the ice, exposing himself to everybody! Thank God his psychic actually has a blower that releases sprinkles so everybody in the whole stadium forgot what they just saw. Yes, except for the people who saw this game at home on the TV sets not being affected by the sprinkles whatsoever! Whoops. So he exposes himself in front of his girlfriend's daughter and son as a fairy. Then after he collects his last tooth, he realizes that he does like the fairies, and he realizes the lessons he's learned during this period. He knows he could go to the NHL if he could just try, and that dreams really do come true. Looks like everything is happy for everyone. Then the lead fairy erases the fact that he was a fairy, also erasing the lessons he learned along the way. Are you serious? He spent almost an hour and a half of this movie being a fairy, having life lessons jammed into his brain, making him realize what a dickhead he's been, and you erase everything that he's learned from the whole movie? What drugs, alcohol, gas did the writers of this movie consume to come to this conclusion? This movie is bad, stupid, pointless, not funny. This is one of those movies where there's this tough guy who has a sweet slash soft spot. Yeah, haven't seen that before, except these.